This show is powered by BL3P, the Lightning-enabled European Bitcoin exchange.
Connect the world.
Bufo, Amboss Technologies, the Netherlands.
Back to the Future is a classic sci-fi film directed by Robert Zemeckis. It follows the story of a high school student named Marty McFly who accidentally travels back in time to 1955 in a DeLorean time machine created by his eccentric friend Dr. Emmett Doc Brown. Is it your dream to time travel?
Yes.
Have you ever run a half marathon?
No.
Have you ever run a full marathon?
No.
Steak is a popular dish enjoyed around the world, prized for its flavor and tenderness. Steak can be cooked to different levels of doneness, ranging from rare to well done. The level of doneness affects the texture, juiciness and flavor of the steak. Do you prefer your steak rare?
Yes.
Master Your Mindset by Michael Pilarczyk is a self-help book that offers insights and strategies for personal growth and mindset mastery. Michael is a Dutch entrepreneur, author and motivational speaker known for his work in the fields of personal development and mindset coaching. The book is also about building resilience to overcome obstacles and setbacks on the path to success. Is this needed as a developer in the Lightning Network space?
Yes.
Post Malone is an American singer, rapper, songwriter and record producer. He rose to fame with the release of his debut single, White Eversion, in 2015, which garnered significant attention on social media platforms. Since then, Post Malone has become one of the most prominent figures in contemporary music. Have you ever been to one of his concerts?
Yes.
Bufo is a genus of a true toads in the family Bufonidae. They are found across Europe, Asia, Africa and parts of North America. Common toads typically have a warty skin that can range in color from brown to olive green. They have a squat body with short hind legs adapted for hopping. Do you know there are 17 different Bufo species?
No.
Do you drink more than 4 cups of coffee a day?
No.
Have you ever visited Bitcoin Ekazi or Bitcoin Witsand?
No.
Are you Satoshi Nakamoto?
No.
Welcome to the Connect the World weekly podcast. I'm Edward.
And I'm Steph. We are ready to take you with us into the beautiful world of the Lightning Network.
Enjoy the ride. This is episode 108 of Connect the World, and this show is made possible by our friends from BL3P and BRINGIN. Thank you guys for helping us with our mission to connect the world with Bitcoin through the Lightning Network. And if you also want to help out, then head over to our Twitter, subscribe at our YouTube account, or of course, if you have any questions, you can ask us anything in our Telegram group. And you can also make a donation. Conecta el mundo.
Welcome, Bufo.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys.
Great to have you, man.
And it was, man, it was so unfortunate because, you said your favorite sport is running. So I was like, okay, did he run a half marathon? And I was hoping that you say yes, because then we can also ask you if you run a full marathon. But you said no to both of them. So is it just, I mean, what distance are you running when you're, doing this type of sports?
So nowadays I don't sport too much, but whenever I sport, I run. But like next week, I have also like how do you say it? A run in the city here for 10 kilometers. So that's a nice goal for me. Not too long, but enjoyable.
Okay, yeah. So you're not like the endurance runners or the marathon runners or something like that, just to get a bit in shape or something.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay. Unfortunate. Edward, did you run a marathon in your life?
A marathon? No, well, I did a triathlon, but
really?
only it's crazy in London, and
really?
it was I had only the part where I needed to cycle, so with a bicycle, and 2 other people did the swimming and the running. So that was crazy. I even have a picture of it. That I was running a bicycle in the middle of London. That was really great.
Nice. Nice. Hey, but Bufo, good to have you on the show. People don't know that we had a lot of contact with each other because I screwed some things up with my lightning node, and you were there to help me. So I think I don't know what was it again.
What happened, Steph? Then
do you know what happened?
I remember
before?
one problem with Umbrel, which I saw a couple of times now already. That is that the logs are not being cleaned. So
that was it. So it became too large, and then the memory got stuck or something, right?
Yeah, so Linux, I think, does some weird stuff if you run out of storage. So I think some files just were gone, and Umbrel wasn't able to start anymore.
Yeah.
So
you couldn't start it, Steph.
No, I could start it, but no, that's it. I couldn't start it. So I saw the login screen, and it was loading for ages. And then Bufo. He saw the logs, and he was like finding the problem, and he did at the end. So very, very happy that it got solved. But I remember that you also did a pull request, right?
I made an issue.
You made an issue on GitHub, but is it already solved or?
I'm not sure. I didn't get any email from it, so I don't think so.
Okay, but they upgraded to the full 1.0 version, so maybe it's not a problem anymore.
Yeah,
but so and
because it was before you did the upgrades.
Yeah. It was some time ago. I think it was a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
So and
I need to do it still.
I thought I screwed up myself because Edward is also one of my hotlines when I mess things up on Umbrel.
I helped him with Boss install after the 1.0 upgrade.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not technical at all. So every time I do something and I screw things up, I think it's all because of me. But this time it wasn't, fortunately. So but thanks for the help, and I hope, by the way, that this isn't an application for you helping all the people of the world having problems with their node, right? So
call Bufo and he will help out.
I mean, if it improves adoption, why not?
Oh yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
And by the way, I saw that the total nodes are declining, right? So that's a pity. So people.
We'll get into that, because is it necessary to have that amount of nodes in the future?
Yeah, that's a great question. But
you could think about it.
No, really. But the time that we started, and also Bufo within our community,
it was crazy.
Then everybody had here in Holland and within our community spun up their node. So
in a closet or yeah. Hey, you've read the Master Your Mindset book. I've read I listened to the audio version of it. And you said, it's needed in your work. Is it also needed for some other stuff that you think, this is really changing how I look to the world or something, or to yourself?
Yeah, I think it is. Like he talks about like having like responsibility for your own life, which I think is important for everybody. Like the situation everybody is in is mostly due to themselves. So like if you're not happy, you're the only person who can change it. And when I started thinking like that, that really helps in a lot of things, but also in development. For example, if you hear like lightning FAT or I don't know, you cannot solve like some particular bug you're working on. It always helps to think like, okay, this is just like temporary. We can fix this, just improve
it
yourself.
Helps in decision making and just taking a step back. And
I assume you're not father to 2 kids, Bufo.
No, I'm not.
Because
sometimes it's
still
difficult.
I mean, oh man,
Some things you say.
yeah. Some things. I mean, the lack of sleep, for instance. Well, you can because you can go.
Yeah,
to
because
bed
Michael
early.
Pilarczyk is a real. He's on a streak, right? He's healthy. He thinks everything through. So also time to sleep. Well, you're doing the same, Steph, because you're going to bed every day at the same hour, right?
Yeah, and early, and sometimes I take a nap in like for 2 a.m. or something, or for
It's good for
2
the
p.m.
mind.
or something. So, but okay, no, I know what you mean, Bufo, and I understand. But maybe I must read a book too. Then
It is a great book. Yeah,
insights.
and he also translated some other books that are interesting to listen to. Yeah, it just changes your perspective on things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw your favorite holiday destination is South Africa. Was this before Bitcoin struck there? Like the Bitcoin Ekasi projects and Bitcoin Witsand, for instance, was it before that? Or it became your favorite holiday destination because of the projects?
No, it was after that, but it was not related. I have an uncle, which is a very big South African fan. He went there over 20 times. So I went there with him and also with my old colleagues to work there when it was winter in the Netherlands. But also like the nature is very nice. All the wild animals over there. Food is amazing. Also a bit cheaper over there. So yeah, it has everything that you wish for.
Yeah. And now we have a couple of pretty good Bitcoin projects there. Are you planning to visit them in the near future?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
I was planning on visiting Witsand the previous time I was there, but I couldn't make it. But I will definitely visit when I go again. Yeah.
Cool. Say hi to the guys running those projects for us. They're great.
Yeah, will do.
Great people.
Hey, we are going to talk about your work at Amboss and your vision on the Lightning Network in general. But I would like to know, because I already said that you are one of our community members. We have a big Bitcoin community in the Netherlands. You are a member for ages there, but you just recently joined Amboss. Or recently, I don't know how long ago it was, but it was way after that you became a Bitcoiner. So I was wondering what's the story of that? What made you? What brought you to Amboss and working there?
So previously, I worked at a startup in Amsterdam, which was more like blockchain related. But then, like, they couldn't get enough funding, so I quit, or like everybody quit. And then I really wanted to work in Bitcoin for a long time already, but I hadn't had a chance to do so. And then I went looking on Bitcoiner jobs for a couple of weeks, and then I saw the vacancy from Amboss. That was like, okay, nice. I know Amboss, like everybody knows Amboss. It's a great website to use. So I just applied, like sent my CV to them. Then I got an interview, went through the interview procedure and got hired at the end.
Yeah, amazing.
Very nice. And for the people that don't know Amboss, can you maybe explain what it is? It's a great website. It's a great tool, especially for node runners. But what is it?
So, like what they're well known about is their Lightning Explorer, which is amboss.space, which indexes all the Lightning nodes, Lightning channels, at least the public ones, and the fees for each channel for about 3 years now. So we also have the historicals for all those statistics. You can look up your own node. You can add socials to your nodes, for example, your Twitter or your Nostr. So you can also contact your peers if needed, if they submitted their socials on Amboss. But we also have Magma and Hydro, which are liquidity solutions for node runners and businesses. And now we just started on also an enterprise tool called Reflex.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. And we had Jesse on the show. It was episode
some time ago, man. 7 or something, I think. Yeah,
it was
in the beginning.
It was a real long time ago, yeah. So,
but it was great because it was before Magma got released. So, and Amboss was the go-to and is still Lightning Explorer. Yeah, because after 1 ml, everybody wanted something different.
Yeah, yeah. I like the
No,
way
but-
everything is visualized
Yeah, it is.
on the website. So cool, man. Okay, let's talk about Amboss, Bufo, and your work there. But it has to be in the 21 minutes.
The 21 Minutes is brought to you by BRINGIN, the app to reliably sell and spend Bitcoin from any wallet. Yeah, and let's start off with Amboss Reflex, the newest tool, because you are working on it and work to help it build. It is designed to navigate regulatory challenges for Lightning companies. Can you explain how Reflex tries to simplify compliance for businesses that work with Lightning?
Yes, of course. So whenever you have a business, like any business, you have to comply to the rules of the specific jurisdiction you're in. So that also is the case for Lightning. The business has to comply with the rules. So you can interact with these guys, but not with these guys. And for most people, like Lightning is still very complex. So it's very hard to dig into your Lightning node, go to the terminal and look who you're interacting with and make that like formal and to show it to your lives and stuff. So we help to kind of automate that so that you can just choose like our web tool. You don't have to go into your terminal, look at all your peers, but just click a button and check all your associations or all the policies you want to comply for, or you have to comply for actually.
And then, do you also have some knowledge about the different jurisdictions and the compliance that's there? Because I can imagine that you're just like a developer, or is there someone else in the team that has that specific task?
So we don't want to make assumptions about the policies of the businesses. So the businesses have to fill in their policies themselves. So because otherwise we have to like write the rules, and we don't want to want to make the rules.
No,
we only want to make it easier for the businesses to like obey by their rules.
Yeah. So they provide the data, and then you guys make a tool so they can check if they're compliant.
Correct.
Okay. And I've read that Amboss did a lot of research at several Lightning companies before building Reflex. What was the primary motivation behind developing Reflex? Because it's not something that you hear a lot within the Lightning space. Like, it's not something that pops up in my mind, to be honest. But I think it's a couple of years ahead thinking of Amboss. So what was the primary motivation for you guys?
So I think we found 5 pain points, which 2 of them were like compliance and accounting. Also, for example, one was UX, which is still, I think, not great for like no coiners. So we went with the accounting and compliance pieces. So Reflex also has an accounting tool built in, so you can push your invoices, like add text to your invoices, and also get an export, also with the field values, which is needed for taxes. And on the other hand, the compliance part.
And Reflex focused on risk management for Lightning Network operations, and of course, in the research you heard that a lot of businesses maybe that want to start in the Lightning scene, that this really will help. Can you elaborate on specific types of risk that Reflex helps to manage? Because you did tell the invoicing and that you can audit it yourself. Are there any other things that are made easy by Reflex?
So one part is also like, even though you're complying, you also have to prove that you're complying. Which is again going into your terminal, like exporting that to show who are your peers. We make it easy to like formalize your Lightning operations by a few buttons and PDF exports.
And I'm just thinking out of my head. Well, knowing that your peers are a good counterparty, is also important, of course. Does it also help for that, or do you need to do your own research as a business?
Yeah, so you have to do research like based on your jurisdiction, and based on your jurisdiction, you can create the policies in our application. And based on that policies, we check if your Lightning operations are compliant with the policies you give us.
Yeah.
So it's still their responsibility. We just check that against the policies they give to us.
Yeah. So don't shoot the manager if something went not well. So
well, it's good if you have a big company, then you can check your checkpoints and everybody works at the same way. So I reckon that it does work.
But I don't know if I can overthink this in a good way. But if I'm a bad actor and I have a Lightning node, I can also open a channel to you, right? It's not that the Lightning node operator who has to be compliant opens all the channels himself. But and how does it work then? Because then it can also be that the rules say that the channel that's open to you is from a bad actor or something, and then automatically closes, or how does it work?
So currently we have continuous monitoring. So you can specify how frequently you want to check your Lightning operations. So for example, like your main node, and you can check that every hour. And if there's like a difference, we report that to you, and then you can take actions based on that.
Yeah. So you can check. So the Lightning node operator again has to check it himself. You guys only give a message. Hey, there's a new channel open to you. This is from this node, and then the node operator himself has to check if it's a good or a bad actor.
So it gets flagged. Yeah, and with that you also comply, of course, because it shows that you have some monitoring up, and that will help you to react soon. I think sooner than if you don't know it and just are searching for problems. Yeah,
correct.
And during a presentation at the Bitcoin Plus conference in Buenos Aires, Jesse from Amboss also outlined a scenario involving IP-derived location checks. And can you walk us through how Reflex handles these checks, and what happens if a node, for example, is detected in a sanctioned jurisdiction?
So the business, like I said, can upload their policies to us, which can also include specific countries. So whenever you upload the Netherlands, for example, and you run your location checks on your peers, whenever there's an IP address which is associated with the Netherlands, we report that back to the business, and then they can either close the channel or not.
Yeah.
Can you also discuss some of the advanced features of Reflex, such as OFAC checks and node checks, how these features work in practice?
So node checks can also be like customized using workflows. So you can set up your own checks for a node. So you can say, I want to check the IP of the node, the source of funds of the nodes, the associations of the nodes. And like for each check, you can upload the policy specific to that check. And for example, the OFAC ones, you can create a policy for the source of funds checks, and there you can specify if you want to flag OFAC funds or not. So we check the OFAC funds based on like the opening transaction in the blockchain, and we check if that address is existing in the OFAC list.
Yeah. So whenever a node complies to all the policies you gave, you don't flag them. But if one of the checks fails, then you flag that node or that channel to the Lightning node operator. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. So they see what has failed against their policies, and we inform them.
Yeah. And it's that workflow that you were telling about is customizable. So you can change it yourself to some other things that you want to check, or isn't that possible?
Yeah, correct.
I don't know, maybe. Yeah.
So it's kind of a drag and drop idea. So you can put in the checks you want, and you can click the play button, and like that will run.
That's nice. If you have a lot of nodes and a lot of Lightning channels, then that's great.
Yeah, and also I'm also thinking about costs for companies, because avoiding non-compliance costs is very important, because they are significantly high. And how does Reflex help to reduce this cost for Lightning Network businesses?
So the idea is that we want to take away some of the lawyers' work by just providing these audit exports, which are generated by Reflex, which can then be handed over to the lawyers. And then like the lawyer should have to allocate less time checking if it's all correct, or like having to have like a deeper understanding of Lightning by just having these reports. So that's the idea.
Yeah, so I can imagine that. Sorry, I can imagine that if you don't use Reflex, you have to have a worker or a developer, for instance, checking this manually, and you guys are doing it automated, and then only the lawyer, the things that you provide to the lawyer are understandable for that lawyer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so the reports cover everything that is needed for a regulatory audit. That's great.
That's what we strive for. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Is it also usable to have Reflex as a tool for exchanges if they are running a big Lightning node, or multiple perhaps, to monitor and implement their compliance? I think it is, but maybe there are some difficulties, because there are a lot of transactions, perhaps.
Yeah, so we have like the node checks and invoice checks, and exchanges will probably use both. So they manage their nodes, their connections with a network, and on the other hand, they can also run workflows on the invoices they pay out to their customers.
Okay. Yeah.
And is there already an exchange that is using Reflex as a service, or can you share it, or is the big secret,
or is it secret?
I cannot.
Okay,
but there is one that's
we're not
using
compliant, Steph.
You can tell if there is one, or is it also some info you can't share with us?
I'm not sure.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it's a no-brainer to use some form of this, and if Amboss doesn't had Reflex, they really are in need of something to make it more efficiency. Yeah. Because this tool is a no-brainer. I think to have something help you with the compliance side. So
yeah,
well, we're going to guess in our head.
So I assume, Edward, that everyone is using it, but only Bufo can tell us. No.
Maybe they asked Amboss, please build this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But looking at the technical side, Bufo, the side you're working on, and I assume, what were some challenges to develop Reflex?
So one thing, like I said, is we want it to be like objective and deterministic. Yeah. So we don't want to assume that you want to like exclude a certain country or such. We only want to act based on like the policies that are being provided to us. And on the other hand, like scalability. So if many businesses are using this and everybody wants to check like a specific node at a specific time, then we don't want to run into like slow loading times and that kind of stuff. So scalability is also
and you're using nodes to gossip with the network. Obviously, I assume. I mean, again, I'm not that technical, but I assume you're using nodes to get the information. Are you using multiple nodes, or is it just one big one, or how does it work?
I'm actually not sure. That was already built like when I got there, since that was used for Amboss Space already, like a few years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how many we use.
Okay.
And do you know how Amboss ensure the privacy of security of data that it handles, especially considering, of course, sensitive nature of compliance and risk management? I can reckon that it's that it's an important part.
So I know we don't sell to like third parties and stuff. We also have like a strict privacy policy, which is available on the website. And like I'm not exactly sure how the data is protected because I also don't have access to the data, so
That's
I cannot
a good
tell
thing.
you. Yeah, I cannot tell you.
There
how
it
that's
is.
being secured.
No
Yeah.
rent stack. No, but that sounds good because that's important, of course.
Yeah. Hey, and what impact do you believe Bufo Reflex can have on the adoption and operation of the Lightning Network? Because I can imagine that this particular part of the business is what keeping a lot of businesses away from developing services or goods or apps on the Lightning Network. But what's your personal vision on that?
Yeah, I personally believe and hope that this is like that this lowers the barrier for especially like business people to enter the Bitcoin or Lightning space. So whenever you have a great idea for like a Lightning native app or something, that the compliance part is less of a hurdle than it was before. So making it easier for startups to just get started with Lightning, don't have the headache of all the compliance parts, and let us do some piece of the work there.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. That if companies are thinking about implementing Lightning, then this makes it more easy, and perhaps can catalyze to have more businesses use Lightning. And what improvements or additional features are you still working on, or can we expect in the near future?
So actually, we're now working on the audit reporting. Like I talked about the PTS, but it's not like in production yet. It's currently in the works. So hopefully in a couple of months, you should be able to get like the exports of all your actions taken. So for example, if you had a channel open to you which wasn't like according to your policies, and you close that within a day or something, you can show it to your lawyer. Like I took action within a day, so I did everything I could to maintain compliance.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. Hey, and Amboss is all about data. What trends have you noticed in the growth and uses of Lightning nodes over the last year? I already said that it's declining in my opinion, but Edward says, well, hold on. How do these trends influence the services that Amboss offers? So what have you noticed in the growth, and how does this influence the service you guys offer?
So I feel like more like the hobbyist node runners are kind of declining since, like I said, Lightning is quite complex, and also in a high fee environment, it can be sometimes quite expensive if you've got a force close. So maybe Lightning is also not for the hobby user, but more for the experienced Bitcoiner. So you see, indeed, not a big how do you say it? A big adoption in new Lightning nodes. But on the other hand, like for example, Breeze or Phoenix are like private nodes on your phone, and we cannot index those. So maybe we're still growing, but cannot see it in the public graph.
Okay.
And on the other hand, like the fiat value in the Lightning Network is still growing, also due to the price, of course. But that also means like we don't need new Bitcoin liquidity in order to can transfer more value, and that is currently also the case. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Yeah.
And do you see an increase in the professional nodes that come to that enter the space?
Actually, I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
I'm not on
I can imagine
the data part.
Okay, but I can imagine that nodes with big channels. That can be hobbyists even, but that population will grow, and that we can assume that are professional node operators. But time will tell. I want to plug my oldest channel, 2 years and 290 days old, guys. So this is a hobbyist, amateur hobbyist that's still going strong. So
this is a nice bridge, Bufo, because do you believe it is important? Well, Steph and I are running a Lightning node, and you're saying, well, hobbyist nodes are declining. Do you believe it's still important for everybody to eventually run an own node in the future, or in some way, perhaps not visible, and running on your mobile phone, for example? That's different than what we're doing now. But do you think that it's still important? Think about all those hobbyists, right?
Yeah. I think it's a difficult question. For example, also like the self custodial Lightning wallets we have right now, Phoenix and Zeus also has one now in Breeze SDK, or like just Breeze. I mean, so the thing about those nodes is it works quite well. There's an upfront cost. That's the only downside. And the other maybe problem there can be is if, for example, my mom uses their Lightning node once a month, then the Breeze LSP has like that liquidity locked.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm not sure how that will turn out if the LSP is just keeping a channel for a year, if it's being used once a month. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure how that will turn out. But of course, it's a nice thing if everybody runs a node, but I'm not sure if it's realistic.
No.
Okay.
I hate the TikTok, but I see one question that we can
take it away, man.
Yeah. So with the evolution of the Lightning Network, how do you foresee the changes? How do you see the network changing in the next 5 years? So what new services or tools will be needed in the future?
So Taproot assets, I hope will be adopted in some way because, for example, in Latin America, like Tether is being used a lot. And if we can have that on Lightning, I think it's a big improvement for the decentralization of the money, because now it's like Tron and Ethereum and all the other centralized blockchains. So I hope that will increase the Lightning adoption in, for example, Latin America. And I'm also curious about the Fedi Mint and the Cashew stuff built on Lightning.
All right. Well, thanks again, Bufo, for all these answers. And we'll follow, of course, all your steps. And you can help us out, of course, still. Let's head over to the bingo, Steph.
Connetti il mondo.
Yes, because we have one question left for you, Bufo. And you may choose one yourself. We prepared one from Joe Downey from NiceHash, from Michael Fisher, he's from Opago, or Nikolai Chongarero from Bitcoin mining in Namibia.
From NiceHash.
NiceHash, all right.
Hi, my name is Joe. I'm from NiceHash, and this is my question for you. How many presidents do you think around the world are using Bitcoin already?
Ooh, okay.
Presidents. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I definitely know one. But like if it's 2 or more, I'm already happy. But on the other hand, maybe they act like they don't know stuff about it, but in the meanwhile they're just stacking sets.
They're stacking like hell.
Yeah, stacking like hell.
Not out in the open like we do.
Yeah. Whenever they go to the Bitcoin standard, they have like a big stack already. But I will go with 2.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
How are we going to check this?
Time will tell.
No.
Connetti il mondo.
Yes, thanks Bufo for your time and for the nice information and talk, man. Where can people follow you? Because you're not that active on Twitter, I saw, but you are on Nostr. Okay.
Yeah, Nostr, Bufo at noderunners.org. Can people find me at? That's the main place.
Yeah. I will say maybe your GitHub for the people that are more into the developing space.
Yeah, sure. Bufo24.
Bufo24. Okay, nice.
Okay, Bufo24. Well, thanks again. And of course, to all members participating in Satoshi Radio Rings of Fire. And of course, thanks to everyone helping us to complete our mission and to connect the world with us. If you like our content, then please support us. Go to connecttheworld.live where you can also donate and subscribe, like, and share our content on your favorite platform. We need you to complete our mission, connect the world. So keep those nodes running, sets flowing, and use Reflex if you have a lot of nodes. And see you all next week on the same Lightning channel. Over, Bufo.
Later.
See you later.